So you believe, Yakasha, that the indigenous peoples of what is now called United States and south of that and north of that as well, First Nations peoples, that they fulfill the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and therefore are Israelites. Is that your basic position?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to share a little bit why today?
Well, if you go over Deuteronomy 28:15 all the way through 68, you're gonna see that every one of these curses happened in colonialism.
Okay. Oh, okay.
15.
Is that well? Okay, then. If that's your basic intention, why do you believe that the things described here, if they happened during the era of colonialism, why do you think that means that the people that it happened to are therefore Israelites? What makes you think that it should be applied to them?
Because the Lord said in the last days that they would be the curses, all these curses from 15 through 68 in Deuteronomy 28 and 46 says and reads, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So do you think the sign is, what is the sign supposed to point to, do you believe? So signs point to something. What are you thinking that it's pointing to?
Curses. It says they. So they, talking about the curses, shall be upon curses. These people for a sign.
Yeah, the curses are a sign, but a sign of what?
Who's cursed? Accursed people. The cursed people of God. The children of God. The ones that disobeyed. The ones that disobeyed Yahweh's law, statutes, and commandments. The one people that he gave his law, statutes, and commandments to.
So you think it's a way to have an indicator about who are not Israelites and who are Israelites?
The scripture says that they shall be upon thee for a sign.
Yes, they shall be a sign and a wonder against you and your offspring forever.
Upon thee for a sign.
Right. Well, Matt, are you using the King James Version?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I usually tend to use a little bit of a more modern version. I don't have anything against the KJV, but that's what the ESV states. Same idea, I think, basically. So, don't you think the sign is that it's God's wrath, showing that God's wrath against sin? That's what the sign points to. It points to his judgment. It's not really about how to determine who Israel is.
See, vocab. Let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is The Word Sign Means What It Says, vocab. And pretty much you see Dr. Gaslight over there, trying to, trip this brother up on his words. He asked him a straight up question. Do you believe, that the natives of this land are Israelites? He said yes. Told him straight up yes. And pretty much, he and by the way, if you want to see the video, it's called Do Native Americans, Latinos Fulfill Deuteronomy 28. You could just type that in. You could type in vocab Malone and type in Do Native Americans, and it should come up. I didn't put it in the description box because I'm not trying to plug this devil in. We're just here to defend the gospel. And pretty much what he's doing is gaslighting, do you think, don't you think, when it says a sign that it should be this and it should be that, and, trying to make you question your belief. And that's what the devil does. That's exactly what the devil did, the serpent, which was an actual man in the Garden of Eden with, Eve. And pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to go through that, hit a couple of points, in Deuteronomy 28, and show you that it's talking about those curses specifically coming upon the people of the Heavenly Father, the Israelites, and that those curses, specifically the things that are written in there, would be a witness against us. It would be a witness, and it would be a sign and a wonder upon the people of the Most High and who they are today, because eventually we all fell away. This is why back during the 60s, and before that, but mainly during the 60s, you had a man by the name of Elder Abba Bivens, who is the one that the Lord inspired to teach us what we know today, and still holding strong to it today. Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Tawada Tawab Tawada Aman. So let's go directly to Deuteronomy 28. This says here, consequences of disobedience. What is a disobedience? Meaning you didn't obey a particular rule or regulation that was given to you. And the consequences are what? The thing that happened, because of the disobedience. So when we read Deuteronomy 28:15, it says, but it shall come to pass, because there's a future tense, if thou wilt not hearken, meaning here, unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Why? Because not only did Moses write this from the Heavenly Father, he also spoke it. So it's saying, if you will not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which he commands thee this day. So if you don't keep any of these laws, statutes, and commandments right now, if you break any of them, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And we're going to examine a couple of these words. So if you don't listen, if you break these laws, statutes, and commandments, the curses that are written from this point on are going to be upon you, and they're going to overtake you. So let's get a couple of words here. Let's get the word curses. In this case, the word curses is the word qualalah, which comes from the word qualal. Curse, vilification, execration, which pretty much means that these will be upon you. No matter where you turn, no matter where you go, the curses are like a heat-seeking missile on the nation of Israel. And these curses shall come upon thee. Let's look up the word come upon. Shall come, ba'ah or ba'ah. And then what? Isle. The word isle is upon. So they will come upon thee. In other words, they will follow you wherever you go, like a heat-seeking missile, and they will be there no matter what you do, no matter where you're at, no matter what you call yourself. Because the spirit that is within you is the spirit of an Israelite, and that is a sign that you are an Israelite. Then it goes on to say, and overtake thee, which is the word gashag. Nashag. To reach, overtake, take hold upon. So if you're running from somebody, you did somebody wrong, and you're running from them, and they're running behind you to catch you, and they're faster than you, guess what? Eventually they're going to come upon you and tap you on the shoulder because they got you, and that's the curse is saying, hey, I'm right here. Boom. So no matter which way you turn, you try to take off to the right, you try to take off to the left, you try to turn back around, or you might turn around and then go back the other way, and guess what? Mr. Curse is right there. You can't escape it. So it will overtake you. So the Lord is saying that if you don't listen, these curses are going to come upon you and overtake you. And when you go through the different captivities, this is the reason why we fell under the Babylonians, under the Assyrians, so on and so forth. We suffered slavery. Women ate their children. Just all different manner of things that happened, that took place, that showed that the curses were going to be upon us. Now, when we jump down to the 45th verse, the verse just before the verse the brother read, the Gadite brother, The 45th verse says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee. It's saying the same exact thing. When you read on from the 15th verse down, beginning at the 16th, it gives you a list of all the curses. Curse shall thou be in the city. Curse shall thou be in the field. Curse shall be that basket. Curse shall be that store. So on and so forth. You have vexation upon thee in whatever you put your hands forth to do. You know, so on and so forth. All of these things happen to the Israelites because this is what the Lord said would happen. But leave it up to the devil vocab, and what does he do? He gaslights. He makes you question. Well, don't you think that the word sign doesn't really mean like a sign that's going to be upon you? Then that's the proof that you are an Israelite? Don't you think that that means that, you know, the God's wrath upon the sinners? What the fuck? You just saying the same exact thing that the brother said. God's wrath upon the sinners, the Israelites, was that all of these things were going to come upon us. Let's go back. So it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall what? Pursue thee. All of a sudden, this don't want to work, right? All right, that's all right. It's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. 28, 45. See, still loading, eh? Still loading, eh? Okay, now now you could go there and you can marinate on that. All right. So now let's go here. It says, and pursue thee, right? The word pursue is radap, right? To be behind, follow after, pursue, persecute, run after. Meaning what? No matter where you go, no matter which way you turn, it's going to be right there, you know, to overtake you. So it's like the curses are like a heat-seeking missile behind every Israelite, no matter what they look like, no matter where they're at. It says to pursue, put to flight, chase, dog, attend closely upon. Right. And them curses are hanging over us, you know, like an unpaid bill. You know? So it goes on to say, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, because we didn't listen to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they, what? The curses shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Meaning, no matter where you go, these curses will pursue you, overtake you, and they're going to be on you. Right? When we go to the Hebrew portion of this, it says, wa hayawa, right? And they, ba is in or on, ka is you or your, in you or on you. Okay? La awath, to sign. So when we go down and we look at the word sign, because the word here, you see the word, the Hebrew word here for upon thee, they don't have a entry for it, but the word is baka. It's two letters, which is two separate words. Ba is in or on, and ka is you or your, in you or on you. Right? Then for a sign is the word la awath or awath. And when we look at the word awath, right, it says sign, signal, a distinguishing mark. All right? Because, matter of fact, let's look up the word sign in the regular common dictionary. Sign, right? You could read some of these they give you different it says an object, quality, or event whose presence or occurrence indicates the probable presence of occurrences or something else. It goes into something else here. Write one's name on a letter, card, or similar item to identify oneself as the writer or sender. So it's used, a sign is an identity or a distinguishing mark. Use gestures to convey information or instructions. But the main point we're dealing with is something. A sign is something to identify. All right, that it's an identity thing, and it goes into, matter of fact, when we read on here, it says banner. What is a banner? A banner is displayed for what? To distinguish something. Like we read in Psalm the 60th chapter, the Lord displayed his banner for what? For truth. because the banner is the Bible, which brings the truth out, right? Do you have banner? Remembrance. To remember that, look, remember what? That these curses are upon you because you broke the law, statutes, and commandments. So it would be a witness against us. Miraculous sign, omen, warning, token, ensign, standard, which is what? A flag, miracle, proof. So it's proof. It would be upon us as a proof, as a sign. And when we looked the word sign up, it was what? Write one's name on a letter, card, or similar item to identify oneself as the writer or sender. Right? We look up the word flag. Flag is a piece of fabric, most often rectangular or quadrilateral, with a distinctive design and color. It is used as a symbol, a signaling device, or decoration. So it's a symbol. And when you see flags, why do people fly flags? Because they are letting you know they are identifying with who they are. Like the flag of the United States, or the flag of Canada, or the flag of Jamaica, or the flag of Mexico. They're flying that flag to let you know, look, I'm a Mexican, I'm an American, I'm so and so and so, I'm a Russian, whatever. So a flag or a sign is used as something to distinguish someone. And then you have the word symbol, right? The word symbol is a mark or character used as a conventional, but you had the word here, symbol. And the word symbol is a mark or character used as a conventional representation of an object. See, it's a conventional representation of an object, function, or process. Example given, the letter or letters standing for a chemical element or character in a musical notation. It says, a thing that represents or stands for something else, especially a material object representing something abstract. So pretty much when you see these different symbols or signs, they distinguish what the sign is or all about. So when we go back, the word sign means just that, a sign. It's a proof. So that these curses would be what? A proof. They'll be upon us as a proof. And then it says a wonder. Let's look up the word wonder. The word there is mawapath. Wonder, sign, miracle, portent. Let's look up the word portent, which is pretty much a sign. A sign or warning that something, especially something momentous or calamitous, is likely to happen. Right. So when you see these curses written in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from the 15th verse or the 16th verse down, that's what? A sign. It's a momentous or calamitous sign. In the case of the curses, it's a calamitous sign upon who the Lord said that these curses would fall upon. When you see these curses on those people, that is to identify them. Right, like the brother put here, evidence. It's an evidence. So evidence is the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. And this is the validation. The signs upon us, the curses, is a validation upon us. Validate, check, or prove the validity or accuracy of something. Make or declare legally valid. All right. So let's look up the word valid. So it validates who the Israelites are. Of an argument or point having a sound basis in logic or fact, reasonable or cogent. Legally binding due to having been executed in compliance with the law, legally or officially acceptable. So it's been validated. So the signs or the curses are a validation upon who the Israelites are. Wonder as a special display of the Most High's power, because he had put us up, exalted us, and he abased us. Sign, token of future event. Right. And that future event would be these curses you see written here will be upon you and your children forever. So no matter where you go, they're going to be right there. Yep. And Brother Yashalom put it up. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And since he brought that out, let's go to Romans 8. And let's get that word witness. Let's see what that word there says. I'm sorry, I went to the 9th chapter. I don't know why I typed 9. I must be typing with my thumbs. Okay, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit. The word beareth witness is su martureo, which you have the word martyr. The word martyr means witness. Su martureo, to bear witness with, bear joint witness. All right. And what is a witness? Right here it says to testify jointly. An example, corroborate by concurrent evidence. See? Keeps going back to evidence, sign, testify unto, also bear witness. All right. And when you look at the word witness, you can look it up in this Blue Letter Bible also. Witness, a person who sees an event, typically a crime or accident, take place. Evidence, proof. So these curses are an evident proof or a sign upon who the Israelites would be today. All right. And there's no way to get around that. So it says, let's read that again. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Upon. Let me see. Upon thy seed, Zerai. Now let's see. Let's go. Right here. Wa and ba, in or on. Zerai, seed, and the ka at the end is your. And upon or on your seed. Eid is forever. I willam is forever. I willam. Okay? So this is how you distinguish or prove who the Israelites are. Now let's go from there to the book of Isaiah, the 28th chapter. And let's start at the 10th verse. It says, for precept must be upon precept. What is a precept? It's a line or it's a verse. Right? For precept must be upon precept, which is what? The scriptures. Precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, because this is how you break the scriptures down. It's a puzzle. You know, you get one precept from one. You know, you might read something in Genesis and there might be a precept in the book of Psalms that conveys the same message. And that's part of putting the pieces of the puzzle together, right? Here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, because eventually we would lose our language and we would be speaking different languages because we would be scattered among the nations. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest. Right. So this truth, which is the comforter, is the rest. It gives us mental rest, knowing that the Lord is going to deliver us and, you know, reward us in the future. And this is the refreshing this is the refreshing, yet they will not hear. Right. This is where this is the watering hole. This is the shade. This is the place you come to get rest from all of your toils and your labors and the tribulations, the trials, so on and so forth. But says they would not hear. So the Lord said, if you won't hear, all these curses shall come upon thee and what? Overtake thee. And they shall be upon you for a sign. And how did that happen? But the word of the Lord, what's the word of the Lord? The Bible, right? In this case is dealing with the precepts or the curses and the different messages that the Lord spoke by the prophets upon Israel that will eventually overtake them and be upon them for a what? A sign, a wonder, a proof, an evidence. But the word of the Lord, Yahweh, was unto them precept upon precept, because everything that was spoken, if you broke it, guess what? Now you have to pay. Now this is going to come upon you. So that you have the precept of what? Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. That's a precept upon precept. That actually happened. You shall be vexed in everything you do. That's another precept. Among these nations shalt thou find no ease. That's another precept. You shall go into Egypt again by way of ships. That's another precept. The women shall eat their children in the sea. That's another precept that came upon the Israelites. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, because all of these precepts, all of these curses, in one way or another, in different captivities, have come upon the Israelites, that they might go and what? And fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Why? Because the Lord said, if you don't follow, listen, follow, do, then these curses are going to come upon you. And what's that going to cause? It's going to cause you to fall backward. It's going to cause you to be broken. It's going to cause you to get snared and be taken. All right. So now, let's go from there to the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter. And this is heavy also. Daniel 9 and 7, we're going to start it. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day. And that's why we're all messed up, ashamed. And you see Jake in the beastly state that they are sometimes, and it's a shame. And you have a lot of Jakes that's so effed up in the brain that they bring nothing but constant shame to their own people. Like in Lamentations, it says, is this the city that people call the perfection of beauty? How has she become tributary, or solitary? And pretty much we fell from that great stature. That great, either Deuteronomy 4th chapter or Deuteronomy the 6th chapter stature. That the nations will look at us and laud our power for this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So what people is so close to the Most High? They're so knowledgeable and so wise. Well, look what we've been reduced to. Ashes. We've been reduced to the muck in the mire. The gum underneath somebody's shoe. The bottom of the barrel. The bottom shelf. It says, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off. Why? Because we would be casted off far off. Through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. So this is a prayer of Daniel to the Most High that we went off. And no matter where we were at, in whatever captivity, we were in this destitute state. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. And what is sin? Transgression of the law. For those that have not read that, you can go to 1 John 3 and 4 and read it there. It tells you that sin is a transgression of the law. It says, to the Lord our power, or our God, belong mercies and forgivenesses. That's why he said he will choose Israel. He will yet choose Israel. Though we have rebelled against him. And that rebellion of ours caused what? Curses to come upon us. Why? Matter of fact, let's go to Deuteronomy 27 and 26. Cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law to do them, and all the people shall say amen. So going back to Daniel 9 and 9, to the Lord our power belongeth mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God, our power, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. So not only did the Lord write them down for us, but he also had Moses and other men and prophets to recite it in our hearing. So not only is it a written witness, but it's also a verbal witness against us. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law. Even by departing, see, because we didn't continue, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, Because we didn't obey the voice of the Lord, therefore the curse is poured upon us. Like you pour syrup, maple syrup over pancakes, and more butter, more syrup. The curses have been poured upon us. We're pickled in it. We're in the mire of it. No matter which way you turn, you can't get out of it. Because that is the sign that the Lord set up. The portent, the wonder. So the word curse here, I believe it's a different word for curse, if I'm not mistaken, which conveys the same idea. Curse. Yeah, this one is Allah. Oath of a covenant. Curse. Because those curses, that was the Most High's oath, his word. Look, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, boom, this is what's going to happen to you. From the Most High. And that's exactly what happened. It came directly from the Most High. Yahweh. So it says, therefore the curse is poured upon us. Let's look up the word poured upon us. Poured. Upon. Upon is isle. Isle is upon, right? Poured. Nathak. To pour out or forth. Drop or rain. So the Most High rain. We're going to rain on you warriors. Inside joke. The Lord rained these curses upon us. No matter where there was nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. So everywhere we went, the curses are right there. You got cats thinking that they gonna move from one city to another and they gonna escape the curse. Or if I just lived in Vegas, or if I just lived in Colorado, or if I just lived in California, or if I just lived in this remote area, my problems would just go away. No, them problems are gonna be right there following you. As soon as you pack your bags and leave and get to your destination, you're gonna breathe that sigh of relief, like, man, finally got away from that. Now all of a sudden, curse is gonna be tapping you. Hey, so shit, apes, gonna be tapping you, right? Thinking that you're gonna get away. It ain't that easy. So it says to pour out or forth, drop or rain, be poured out. It says be melted, be molten, to pour forth, to be poured. So pretty much the Lord poured these curses upon us. And these curses are not going to be able to be shaken off. So let's read this again. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. Now there was a word. Right, verse 12. And he hath what? Confirmed his words. So how do you confirm a word? By doing the action. The Lord warned us. He said, don't do this. If you do, this is what's going to happen to you. And we didn't do it, so guess what? The curses came upon us. So the Lord confirmed his words. Why did the Lord confirm his words? Let's go to Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Oh my goodness, we got to look up two of those words. Number one is accomplish. I shall, which is to do or make. To do, fashion, accomplish. And when you look up the word accomplish, if you have a task, when the task is done, that's when it's accomplished. Accomplish, achieve, or complete successfully. And the Lord completed successfully, or achieved successfully, pouring the curses upon us like rain. So going back, the other word was accomplish, and the other word was prosper. The word there is tazalach. To rush, to advance, prosper, make progress, succeed, be profitable. So it overtook us. The Lord accomplished it, and he caused it to to have the mastery over us. Just like those lions had the mastery over those people that try to get Daniel eaten by the lions. Guess what? The Lord held the lions' mouths, and then when the next day came and they pulled, Daniel out, and they threw the people in there that wanted Daniel to be put to death. They said that the lions had the mastery over them. And you've seen lions in action out there hunting. They get busy. So it says prosper, succeed in material terms, be financially successful. Pretty much succeed in material terms, or pretty much to succeed when you prosper. Being prosperous. So the Lord caused these curses to completely prosper over us, and it shall prosper. So let's read this again. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth; it shall not return unto me void. Word ain't gonna be like, oh Lord, I know you said the curses were gonna be on these people, but I just didn't have the heart, so I'm coming back to you, reporting back to you. No. But it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Why? Because it's ordained by the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So when we read Daniel 9 and 12, it says, and he, the Most High, hath confirmed his words. Meaning what? The curses that were poured upon us. We look up the word confirmed. Qawam. To rise, arise, stand, rise up, stand up. Right? Because the words of the Most High were put into motion. They became powerful. Right? So it says, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. Like the brother Hawad out there. Evil. He brought upon us a great evil. And what was that? The curses. The curses were lining up. Come on, man. You had enough. Come on, let me get up in there. They were like Honest Abe Honeycutt on the sideline, just waiting for their turn with them tap dance shoes on, ready to get busy. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Why? Because it was ordained directly from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And these curses came upon us for that purpose. It says, as it is written in the law of Moses, in case you get stupid. Is not Deuteronomy 28 written in the law of Moses, or the law of the Most High gave to Moses? So these curses had the mastery over us, and they still do to this day. All this evil has come upon us, yet may we not our prayer before the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And this is key here, because this is a part of a part of the prayer that King Solomon made to the Heavenly Father for Israel in the time of our calamity. So let's go real quick to 1 Kings 8 and 33. When thy people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, right, because it said that you shall go out one way. Is that not a part of the curse? You shall go out one way and then be scattered 7 ways or something like that. Let me see if I can find that. Right, Deuteronomy 20:7. Oh, well, that's the blessing. But let's go to the curse. 25. The Lord shall cause it to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And the word 7 just means number 7 just simply means completion. There you go, right there. Sirach 11:14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. Evil, right? So now, when we go back to Kings, it says, when thy people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn again to thee, and confess thy name and pray, and make supplication unto thee in this house, then hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sins of thy people Israel, and bring them again unto the land which thou gavest unto their fathers. And that's what we're getting ready to do, getting ready to inherit back the land. When heaven is shut up, and there is no rain, wait a minute, where could this be found? I wonder where this could be found. Let's go back here. Deuteronomy 28:12, that's the blessing. Now let's go to the curse. Deuteronomy 28:24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be what? Destroyed. Let's look up the word destroyed. And let's all right, let's look up the word destroy, and let's move this over here, and let's precept that. Let's precept that. All right, Deuteronomy 28:24. It says, till thou be destroyed. Got the word destroyed. The word is shamad. To destroy, exterminate, be destroyed, be exterminated. You know, because drought brings what? Lack of food, and lack of food brings what? Hunger, and hunger brings what? Famine, and famine brings what? Death. And that is one of the things the Lord said will come upon Jake. You know, he appointed 4 kinds. So when we go to Hosea 4:6, it says what? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. This is why, you know, it's important for Jake to get this message, to learn this word, if they're part of the elect, because evil is coming down the road, you know, and knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And this is why we fell. Then it also says, my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge, because we forgot the ways of the Lord. This is why you had to have a man by the name of Elder Abba Bivens, who is Elijah the prophet, John the Baptist coming back in the reincarnation, whether you could accept it or not, you know, that brought back the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the fathers. All right? Not Bishop Nathaniel. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. And that's why we suffered the curses. So King Solomon prayed, when heaven is shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee. What's that? That's a confirmation or a sign based off of the curses in Deuteronomy 28 that will come upon us eventually. So when heaven is shut up and there is no rain, that's right, Apostle, not Nate. That's right, not Nate, not you, Nate. When heaven is shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee, if they pray towards this place and confess thy name, that's why the names are important. You got guys out there playing with the name, and turn from their sin when thou afflictest them, right? Because the Lord said that he will return unto his place until they acknowledge their offense. Right? It says, in their affliction, they will seek me early. What affliction? The curse that the Lord was going to put upon Jake. Then hear thou in heaven and forgive the sin of thy servants and of thy people Israel, that thou teach them the good way wherein they should walk. And that's all we had to relearn, had to be brought back to remembrance. And give rain upon thy land, which thou hast given to thy people for an inheritance. It goes on to say, if there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, blasting, mildew, locust, or if there be caterpillar, or if their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be. And this goes back what? To the curses. As what? As an evidence, sign, or token. And when they turn to the Lord will remove it. Now when we jump down here, if thy people go, if this is the 44th verse, if thy people go out to battle, because this right here, the strangers talking about the Israelite foreigners. It says, if thy people go out to battle against their enemy whithersoever thou send them, this is part of the curses, and shall pray unto the Lord toward this city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house that I have built for thy name, then hear thou in heaven their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so they carry them away captives, listen good, unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Where are we at now? Far. On the reaches of the other side of the earth. The ends of the earth. The utmost ends of the earth. So wherever we may be, this prayer covered a lot. And it's heavy that out of all the kings, the kings pray for Israel, but this prayer is very important. King Solomon prayed. The same way that Yahushua prayed the prayer in St. John, the 17th chapter. for the elect. Because they are the same people. Think about it. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, Salaki about that. So far or near, yet if they what? Shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives. What does it mean to bethink themselves? To remember. Bethink themselves. Shawab, which means what? To return. That's what you get the word convert in the book of Isaiah 6 and around the 10th verse, I believe it is, where it says that if they hear the word of the Lord, then and they accept it, then the Lord will have Lord will have to convert them and what? Heal them, meaning turn them back. Shawab means to return. So if they shall bethink themselves or return, it says, yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, which is what? Here in America. Remember, we read far or near, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers. That's what we pray towards the east. The city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. This is why the brother here, the Gadite brother, this guy here, this devil, Vocab, Calvin Malone, he's pretty much trying to gaslight the brother. Because he asked the brother, do you believe that the natives are Israelites? He said, yes. And that's all he said. Then he said something about how, or whatever the case may be, the brother went to Deuteronomy 28:46. This should be a sign upon thee. Then this devil, do you think that the word sign really isn't really talking about that this is how you prove that they're Israelites, but it was, a judgment from God, a punishment from God, the evil from God, or something along those lines that he said. And I'm like, that's the same shit. That's the recompense, the payback, the sign. Because that's what the Lord said. If you break these laws, statutes, and commandments, I'm going to do this to you. Matter of fact, let me see if I can bring it back a little bit.
To have an indicator about who...
These people for a sign.
Yeah, the curses are a sign, but a sign of what?
A sign of who they are.
Who's cursed? A cursed people. The cursed people of God. The children of God. The ones that disobeyed. The ones that disobeyed Yahweh's law, statutes, and commandments. The one people that he gave his law, statutes, and commandments to.
So you think it's a way to have an indicator about who are not Israelites and who are Israelites?
The scripture says that.
That's it. That's right, brother.
Upon thee for a sign.
That's what the scriptures say,
Vocab.
Vocab.
A sign and a wonder against you.
Upon.
Spring forever.
Upon thee for a sign.
And
right. Well,
we showed you that the word upon was what? Isle. Matter of fact, how many times must we check these fools? It says upon thy seed, right? And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed. When you look up here, Wahayawa Baka. Baka is a compound word Two letters. Ba is in or on, and then ka is you. In you or on you. So they shall be upon you or in you. All right? For a sign. La awath, two sign. Awath is sign. Then it also says wonder, which a sign is a token, a proof. All right? A symbol, evidence that who the people of the Lord are. But leave it up to the gaslighter, Dr. Gaslight himself.
James version.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I usually tend to use a little bit of a more modern version. I don't have anything wrong against the KJV, but that's what the ESV states. Same idea, I think. Basically, so don't you think the sign is that it's God's wrath, showing that God's wrath against sin? That's what the sign points to. It points to his judgment. It's not really about how to determine who Israel is.
Well, first of all, it says a sign, right? And it would be upon him. So if God's judgment or his wrath is upon someone, how do you distinguish who committed the iniquity or the crime? The people upon whom these specific curses came upon. Come on, man. So let's see, where were we at? We read that. We read Hosea. All right. Let's see where else we got. Oh, and this is why, as we read earlier. Matter of fact, let's read it again. Brother had posted it. This was one of the scriptures on the list. But hey, whenever the Spirit wanted to come out, it comes out. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So this is spiritual. The ones that are drawn to this truth is a spiritual thing. It's not something that, that you can take upon yourself, because this, Yahweh said through the Apostle Paul, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said through the Apostle Paul, it's not of him that willeth or of him that runneth, but of the Most High, who chooseth. He's the one that's choosing. Right? So now let's go from there to Zephaniah. There had to be a great calling. Zephaniah 1:12, it says, and it shall come to pass at that time, what time? Right now, that I, the Most High Yahweh, will search Jerusalem with candles. And what are the candles? This word, the prophets that the Lord set up, the men that the Lord set up, the teachers that the Lord set up to go out there and prophesy with his word. For what purpose? To gather the elect of the nation of Israel, to gather the lost sheep. Let's go to Baruch 4. Baruch chapter 4, verse 36. It says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold thy joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come. How? Whom thou sentest away, right? They're being gathered now. They come gathered together from the east to the west, because we're in the west now, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory. And this is why the internet was created, because at the end the books will be opened and they shall see all together. Now when we go to the next chapter, you know what? I'm going to read the whole chapter. It's a short chapter. Baruch 5:1. Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of mourning and affliction, because that's where we're at, because of the curses. So put that off. And put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Most High forever, which is what? The beautiful garments that are being put upon us, which is what? This word that adorns our spirit, that adorns our minds, that gives us comfort, right? Cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from the Most High. Why? Because we received double for our, for our going off, and now we're going to receive double the glory. And set a diadem on thine head of the glory of the everlasting, right? Which is what? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding being in our inward parts, which eventually, when the kingdom of heaven is established and we're changed, when the second covenant is fully fulfilled, then the law, statutes, and commandments will be inserted into our perfect bodies, into our mind. It says, for the Most High will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven. Why? Because we are being magnified right now. Matter of fact, there's still a little bit more on this. We are being magnified right now. There might be some on that. Let's go to Daniel. There's a few of them. But let's just go to Daniel 12:3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. Why? Because wisdom makes the man's face to shine. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. So right now we're being magnified for the Most High, back in Baruch 5:3. For the Most High will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven, because we will be, matter of fact, let me read it because I can't think of it verbatim. Zephaniah 3:19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. And that's what's happening right now. So the slave master, he's losing grip of the Israelites because we are not staying upon him anymore, but we're staying upon the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in truth. And he's getting upset because he's losing his grip. Because the Lord is the one that's undoing that. And I will save her that halteth and gather her that was driven out. And that's us. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. Why? Because the Lord scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth, and everywhere we went on the earth, these nations persecuted us. All right? It says, at that time will I bring you again. Why? Because we went astray, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Who is lost but my servant? Who is blind but my servant? So we went astray, so the Lord had to bring us back. That's why we heard the word behind it saying, come this way. You're going the wrong way in so many words. Even in the time that I gather you. How is the Lord gathering us? By the word. It says, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, save the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's what we're witnessing right now. The curse is being removed from us. Even though we're still under the curses, but the curse is being removed off of us enough to where we're able to function. So going back to Baruch 5:4. I'm sorry, I'll read 3 again. For the Most High will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven. For thy name shall be called the power forever, the peace of righteousness, that the glory of the Most High's worship, and the glory of the Most High's worship, because the Lord is establishing that altar right now among his people, that Isaiah 19 chapter altar. He's raising up his people. He's, exalting them, teaching them, measuring them. Just like when you get ready for a wedding, you have the bridegroom, you have the bride. But then you have the best man, you have the maidens or whatever the case may be. All of that, everybody has to be measured for what? For their to get dressed. The amount of time they wear the tuxes and all that. But everybody's getting measured right now. And that's what's happening right now. The altar of the Lord is being measured, is being tailored, everything is fitting tailor-made. That's why scriptures speak about keep thy garments. It says, arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, because why? We were in a low state. And look about toward the east, and behold thy children gathered from the west unto the east. By what? By the word of the Holy One. Rejoice in what? In the remembrance of the Most High, because we forgot. But the Lord still said, even though we forgot, the Lord had the curses upon us to remind us. For they departed from thee on foot and were led away of their enemies, but the Most High bringeth them unto the exalted with glory as the children of the kingdom. And that's what's happening right now. And in the midst of that, you have the enemy watching from the sidelines and be like, man, I'm not digging this. That's why the scriptures speak about the accuser of thy brethren, because he's upset. So they're trying every trick in the book to destroy this thing, cast doubt in people's minds. But they don't understand that's only going to work on the ones that the Lord don't want. Because you're going to actually have Gadites that watch this. You're going to have, Judites that watch this, and other tribes that watch this, that's in the world. And they're like, nah, this guy is off. Because the serpent over here, you see how he got his eyes? Like you got the wheels turning there. Like, what can I say to this guy to get him away from this? You can see that Dr. Sinister, Vocab, Calvin Malone, with the beady eyes. You got to watch him devils with the beady eyes, man. This is that big fat snake in the serpent in the garden that was in Eve's ear, man. Fucking devil, yo, Vocab, you the devil, man. oh Lord. It says back in verse 7, for the Most High hath appointed that every high hill and every bank of long continuance, which is these nations that are established, should be cast down. Because that's where the Lord said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down and the ancient days did sit, which is a so-called black man. All right, Geno Jennings? And valleys filled up. What are the valleys? The lowland. That's talking about us being raised up to make even the ground that Israel may go safely in the glory of the Most High. It says, moreover, it says, moreover, even the woods and every sweet smelling tree shall overshadow Israel by the commandment of the Most High, because the earth is going to be beautified again. For the Most High shall lead Israel with joy in the light of his glory, which is the truth, and eventually the deliverance, with the mercy and righteousness that cometh from him, because he said he will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. All right, so let's see what else we got. And this is why the Lord he's gathering Israel by what? He's where did it go? Oh, he's gathering Israel with what? With candles. He's searching. And this word is going out there and searching the elect out. Entering into the minds of the elect and sealing them against the times to come. So let's go from there to Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Because Israelites are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And that would be what? A sign and a wonder upon thee and thy children forever. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Matthew 24. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And we're coming very close to that. And this is why you could read Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. You know, where it speaks about the valley of the dry bones and the bones coming back together, you know, and the two kingdoms coming back together as one, because that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's gathering back his elect. So this guy Vocab is a devil. He errs not knowing the scriptures. You know, you can see he's got that evil Dr. Evil Eye, you know, look. Because he's trying to, you know, come up with something in that big fat head of his, you know. So with that, you know, I pray that you brothers have been edified and your few sisters. Like the name of the lesson again was the word sign means what it says, Vocab. And we read all of the different definitions of sign. You had sign as write one's name on a letter, card, or similar item to identify oneself as a writer or sender, because it's an identity. So these curses would be an identity upon us. It would be a flag. A flag is a piece of fabric, blah, 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 with a distinctive design and colors. Distinction. It is used as a what? As a symbol. We looked up the word symbol. It says a mark or character used as a conventional representation of an object. In this case, you know, who the Israelites are. That's that sign, a symbol, the evidence, who the Israelites are. So with that, I pray that you brothers and your few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say, Shalom.